Good morning. We have just been joined by Kitty. His name's Gizmo. He was named before we got him, but I think it's a pretty perfect name for him. He does turn into a little gremlin after midnight. I'm just keeping him in here with me because otherwise he's just going to go bother the doors of everyone who's sleeping. Which is 2 people. It's nice. Oh, head scratch. Morning, Tabs. So, I was actually going to intro and say, good morning and welcome to Breakfast Bravezone. I am your host, Annie Eclectic. And that's because I have decided that, morning, I have worked out a way to download these lives, which isn't particularly easy. There isn't just a download button. So if you have videos and lives and stuff on Instagram and you want to download them, then send me a DM and I'll tell you how. I might even make a little video, put it on YouTube, or even on here. Would that be a bit offensive to Instagram? So I'm going to upload them onto my YouTube channel. I've even made a little graphic for the beginning, which is pretty fun. It's like my logo, and then Mini Moon Arts in the circle, and then it says Breakfast Bravezone, real and raw chats from Insta Lives, so that they know it's from Insta Lives, because otherwise I'm going to watch it and be like, ew. I'm also going to have to go through and edit out any swear words. I really should watch what I say this early in the morning. I'm just going to have a little sip. So I'm very interested to know what you guys have been doing for your Bravezone, because that's kind of my thing, isn't it? I've had lots of my business friends encourage me to create hashtag Bravezone merch and try to trademark it, which I don't think you can do. But I have started a hashtag on here, so if you want to, maybe I'll start the Breakfast Bravezone hashtag, and then anybody who does anything that's, come from one of these, they can tag it and tag me in it, and then I can be like, oh my god, you're amazing, I love you, and cheerlead you on, because we all need that, don't we? I've had a lot of that over the last couple of days, and I cannot thank you guys enough for the kindness and the engagement and all the lovely messages that have come into my DMs, saying how much, oh my god, I just hit the table, saying how much you've enjoyed these, because I only started doing this as like a little silly thing so that I could just talk to myself in the morning and get used to doing lives. But actually, if people are enjoying it, then I might try and keep doing it. I do struggle with consistency. We suspect that I have ADHD, and keeping focus on something is very difficult. I very much am of the brain set of, oh well, I've achieved that thing now, I must move on to something else, and literally, I'm not kidding, a thing will fall out of my brain. It'll be really prevalent one day, and then the next day it's like it never existed. And I don't know what happened. I am going to find out. I want to know more about it. I am quite enjoying exploring the world of the ADHD brain and like the chemical reactions and all the different things. So like, I always thought I just had stage fright. No, it's called performance anxiety. It's a real thing. It's quite debilitating, and it's quite empowering knowing that that is a real thing. I also suffer from something called rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Didn't know that was a thing. But yeah, so if someone says anything that's even the slightest bit critical, it can put me in the ground. But I'm working on it, which is great. I have actually put myself out for a couple of things where I've emailed shops to see if they want to stock my jewellery, And for whatever reason, they've said no. And actually, it didn't upset me, which that feels like a massive win to me. So maybe that's today's subject. Maybe we need to focus more on celebrating those little wins of things that we do. So noticing the things that do affect us in a negative way. So, for example, the rejection sensitivity dysphoria. I have empowered myself by knowing what that is. And by recognizing the situations that I put myself into where that could become a problem. And once I've framed that in my mind, I definitely do find it easier to take what people are putting out. I mean, some people are just mean, and that's always going to happen. And I think as long as you can recognize that that is a mean person, then again, that person's opinion doesn't matter. Does it? Only the people that mean something to you that you respect, those are the people whose opinions matter. Or, you know, if it's in like a more serious situation, like a marginalized group, that kind of situation. I mean, obviously that's a whole different kettle of fish, but I think, when you're putting something out on social media and you've got some person who comes on and is like, stop doing this, I don't want to see it on my blah 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 blah, and I'm like, oh buddy, you're damaged. Like, who hurt you? Please go talk to somebody about it. You're clearly very angry and upset, and something that I said really touched a nerve for you. Or just scroll on. But I didn't used to be able to do that. Oh, thank you. I love the mic. It's great. I love it. I absolutely love it. I keep moving it because I want to see the colour changing, because it makes me really, really happy. And in yesterday's live, it kept cutting out, which is a bit upsetting, but I think I got a bit animated, because that's what I do. But it's very nice that you're staying here, Debs. I'm not used to having someone that I'm actually talking to. But yeah, I think that we all suffer a lot with needing to be perfect, and perfectionism and people pleasing. For a lot of us, this is born from childhood trauma. So that's another interesting thing about ADHD I didn't know. A lot of ADHD, especially kind of shows and manifests in adults, is formed by childhood trauma. It's very interesting. It doesn't have to be big, obvious traumas. It can be microaggressions and, small and consistent traumas that you go through. But yeah, it's very interesting. And also, so if you don't follow Dr. Zoe Watson already, she's on Well Good Wellbeing, and she put a reel out. When was it? It was the other day. She put a reel out, and it was quantifying the amount of people who have ADHD, because it's now trending. It's not trending. There's just simply more education on it now, and people are starting to recognise that they have symptoms that have plagued them their entire lives, and now can potentially get help. And I say potentially because the wait list at the moment in the UK to get an assessment on the NHS is 5 years. On the Right to Choose, which is the fast track, is about 2 years, which is why I haven't gone for a diagnosis. My brain can't cope with that kind of perceived rejection. And the system it's not designed to actually help. I would rather just go off and do the learning and understand what's going on in my brain and figure it out for myself. Because why the F not? I'm intelligent enough to be able to do that. Not everybody is, though. And and I would like to work on forming coping mechanisms. And it's not just going to be for people with ADHD. A lot of these coping mechanisms I genuinely think people should do every single day for the better of their own mental health, because we are in a mental health crisis right now, and that is a big bag of poop. And I would like to do what I can in my tiny little corner of the world to help people with their mental health. That was a lot, and I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, I'm really good at going off on tangents. I do apologise. So, yeah, wins. That's what we were talking about. Let's focus on the wins. So whenever you do something and... Oh, got fuzzy noise. I don't know why it does this. It's doing a fuzzy noise. It did this yesterday. And then it started cutting out, but I don't think it's cutting out right now. It was cheap. But yeah, anything that is a bit of a win and gives you a dopamine hit. It makes you go, ooh, gives you that fuzzy feeling. Because it's not just dopamine, just FYI. When you smile, neuropeptides, amazing. When you laugh, it basically fills up. Oh, good. Thank you, Debbie. I'm glad it sounds all right. I don't know what it is. It was just cheap. Like, it's fine. I'll get a more expensive one when I can afford it. When I make my millions. Yeah, so when you laugh, and I talked about this in, I think it was yesterday's or the day before's live. When you laugh, you fill up your happy hormone bucket. It's amazing. You're like, oh, let's put some oxytocin in. That's the love hormone. Let's put some serotonin in. Let's put some dopamine in. Let's just make our bodies go ping, 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 ping with all that positivity. If you get that feeling, heck, double down on it. So I actually devised, here's your coping mechanism for today. This is your challenge for today. I have a problem with the colour pink. Do not like the colour pink. It really stresses me out. I hate working with pink crystals, and as a crystal healer, if someone came to me and said that, I would be like, right, well, that tells me that you need to work with pink crystals. Because that is the part of you that is out of balance, and that is the part of you that needs work. And it's it's the self-love. So it's your heart chakra, and it's all about your self-love and self-acceptance and self-compassion and all that stuff. So what I did was I devised this little mechanism. I'm going to tell you this, and then I'm going to leave it there because I really do need to go and sort some orders out. When you go through your day, pick a colour. Pick the colour that you find most challenging. I'm not going to say that you like the least, because to my brain, like, all colours are freaking amazing. Maybe apart from brown. But then actually, I love brown because it's the earth, and I really love the earth. So anyway, for me it was pink. I created a new ring for myself, and I called it the self-commitment ring, and I made it with pink tourmaline. I actually don't have that ring on the website. I have sold a few. People have bought them when I've talked about them in the past. Maybe I'll put I think I did a post on it. I'll repost it on my stories, and I'll just find out from people if they'd like me to add it to the website. But yeah, so I created this ring, and then I devised this thing that I wanted to do. So as I went through my day, every time I saw the colour pink, I would rub the ring and I would actively smile. And by actively smiling, you're creating the neuropeptides. I would then take that feeling, because when you smile, like, you feel good, don't you? And you get that feeling. You get your feeling here, and you get it in your stomach. And what I was doing was I was drawing that feeling into my heart center, and I was holding it and then breathing it into my body and just imagining that feeling spreading throughout my body. And I did that every time I saw the colour pink. Ooh, goldfinch. Oh, God, I bloody love a goldfinch. So pretty. And my goodness, the difference that it made to me through that day. Like, I was grinning like a freaking loon all day long. I was feeling so positive about everything. Like, my productivity really, really increased. The joy that I felt when I was playing with Leon, I wasn't his, the things that our kids do that frustrate us wasn't really frustrating me that much. And anytime that I did start to feel a bit stressed and stuff, I used the power of my self-commitment ring, because I'd connected the action of touching this crystal with the action of the smile and that chemical reactions through my body. So I was actually able to then recall that feeling without the trigger of the pink in front of me. Does that make sense? I mean, it was really powerful for me. It really, really worked for me. And I have advised a couple of people on doing this, and they've tried it, and it really helped them too. I've got that funny noise coming through again. I wonder if it's these mics. I wonder if it's because this is like sitting on my lap. I don't know. I don't want to put two ears in. I might mask my beautiful green stretcher. But anyway, so your challenge for today, for your Breakfast Bravezone challenge. Oh, Breakfast Bravezone challenge. Are we doing challenges now? Let me know. Is to pick a colour, any colour, but I would say one that you find the most resistance to. And every time you see it today, I want you to actively smile, because this is the other thing. You are retraining your brain. You are affecting the neuroplasticity in your brain when you do this, because your body cannot tell the difference between a fake smile and a real smile. This is something I learned a very, very long time ago when I worked in retail, and people would say to me, "You're so smiley, why are you smiling all the time, blah blah." And well, because I'm not a miserable little person, and I like to just find joy in everything that I'm doing because I'm here, so I might as well. But also because the fake smile eventually turns into a real smile. And I didn't understand back then that actually it is genuinely reconnecting your brain, retraining your brain. Is it reconnecting the synapses? It's rebuilding the synapses. Don't quote me on that. I'm using my memory, and my memory is terrible. But it is affecting the neuroplasticity in your brain. And it is changing your brain into a more positive space. And is that not just what we need in our life and what we want in our life? To have a bit more joy, have a bit more happiness, create more space for ourselves, because worry and anxiety and all those sadder emotions, they take a lot of space. And if we can do anything, even if it is just simply spotting the colour that makes you feel a bit like, I don't like you, and turning that into something positive, how much power do you hold in your little body and hands and just etheric being? And yeah, okay, I'm gonna go. I feel quite lucky that Leon hasn't woken up yet. Thank you, Debs, for being here for this entire live. I don't know how long it is. Yesterday's was like nearly 15 minutes long. So if you've made it this far, if you're on the replay, please let me know by telling me what colour it is that you are going to spend your day looking for. And yeah, have a fabulous day. I'm sure I'll pop on here again at some point. And yeah, lots of love.